Hey guys, Brian here with Better Chess Training, and this video is actually a re-recording of a video that I had last week. It was pointed out by one of the viewers, Mike Jones, that I made a few mistakes, both including mentioning which player's turn it was to move, as well as a couple of the variations I had were not the best variations. So it's important to be precise when we're talking about tactics, so I decided the best course of action here was to re-record the video. So at the time that you see this, I would have taken down the original so that no one gets confused. So in any case, if this is your first time seeing this, and if you have not seen this position before, take a look at it and pause it if you want and try to solve it. It is white to move, and then I will show you the solution. Okay, well, let's take a look at this position. Here, white is in check and by the black queen, and if we take a look at this, we see that if white can play a move without being in check, that he can checkmate the queen, or checkmate black with queen to c8 mate. Okay, but first we have to get out of check, and there's really a couple legal moves here: king to b5 and king to b4. So hopefully you saw that king to b4 will lead to king to b3 checkmate. Okay, so really the only option here is king to b5. Okay, from here, queen to b3 check is something you should have looked at, hopefully. And from here, it's very important that you play king to c6. Okay, avoiding king to a6, because with king to a6 we have queen to a4 check, and after king to b7, then queen takes d7, and after the trade of queens, black will have all of these pawns to win the game. Okay, so that was actually in my original video, and now hopefully how far you saw that was the case. But let's go back. So after king to b5, you need to play king to c6, and the next important follow-up check here is queen to a4 check. And again, you don't want to play king to b7, you want to play king to d6, protecting the rook. So from that first position that I showed you, hopefully you saw this far. Okay? And if you did, then that's great, because that is you saw the most important aspects of this position in order to win. Now, black has a few checks that he can play here, and most importantly would be queen to d1 check. Now this is actually better than queen to a3 check, because here after king takes e6, then there are no safe checks for black to make. So the queen has to check on d1, and king takes e6 is probably the best move. And then here is another mistake, or at least the less optimal move. After queen to e1 check, you do win after taking this pawn on f5. However, in a practical sense, or in a practical game, it's important to make sure that you play the most efficient move. And like I said, Mike pointed out that actually king to f6, using the f5 pawn to block, is actually more efficient and maybe a little easier to calculate. Because after queen to c3 check, king to g6, again, the g3 pawn is protected, and this f5 pawn is actually blocking against a check, say, from c2. So that would be the most effective line, and from here, it's impossible to stop white from eventually checkmating black. So that's the solution. Let's just take it from the beginning, just to make sure that we have it. In this original position, we need to go king to b5. Black's best move here is queen to b3 check, and then we need to play king to c6. Otherwise, black again can fork us and win this rook on d7. After the natural queen to a4 check, again, an important decision to make, not to go to b7, but instead to go to d6, protecting the rook. And then after a couple more checks, a very key move here, although again, king takes f5 does win as well. It's a little easier to keep this in mind. You let this pawn block for you and play king to f6. Okay? I hope that clears things up a little bit. Again, I will make mistakes in my videos at times, but there were enough here that I thought it was important to put out a corrected video. So hopefully this will help clear things up and be very instructive for you. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please hit that like button. And if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button down below as well. Now, as I mentioned earlier, one of our viewers, Mike, pointed out a few mistakes, and it was enough that I felt that I should correct the video. So I really appreciate that, but it does bring up another point, and that is that whenever you see a video of mine or anybody else here on YouTube, or reading a chess book, it's very important to form your own opinions and do your own analysis to make sure that you both understand, but also that the analysis is correct. I know nowadays a lot of chess books are checked over by chess engines, but still mistakes can be made because we are human. The people writing the books are human after all. So check that out, and I really appreciate you watching this video. Especially I want to thank my patrons. If you want to support the channel, check out my Patreon link down below, and I will see you soon.